Hey, welcome back to the Earn by Experience podcast, and thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Ben Browse. This week, I had the pleasure of sitting down and getting to know the co-owner of Dolle's Candyland, Anna Dolle. She was a pleasure to hang out with and get to know. Dolle's Candyland has been around in Ocean City for 115 years, I think, 1910. So, yeah, it was super interesting to get to know her and more about the company. She actually left me with this book that outlines the company history with pictures and descriptions and whatnot. So, super, super kind of her. And I can't wait to read through this and, read it to my kids or something. But it was super fun to hang out and get to know more about the candy and what they do and, what they're making and whatnot. So, hope you guys enjoyed the listen. As we approach Christmas time, I thought it might be nice to just mention, I've actually already hit them up for some candy myself for gifts, but they do offer tons of stuff: fudge, taffy, popcorn. They got tins and baskets and all kinds of cool stuff in there. So if you're looking for that perfect gift for the person that's got everything, swing on by and check out what they got. Just want to say thanks for tuning in each week. I really do appreciate the support that everyone shows the podcast, and we'll see you next week. Well, Anna, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's great to meet you too.
I'm happy you obliged my Facebook message.
Absolutely. I'm glad that, things happened so that I could find that Facebook message.
Yeah. Luckily, our circles aren't all as big as we think they are.
They never are.
So, yeah. I'm really happy everyone put us in the right connections happened.
Yep.
So, all
Absolutely.
right. I actually got you a little gift for coming on.
Oh, thanks.
From a local artist.
Fun.
First gift I've given out.
Thank
personally.
you.
So I was thinking one of the things that I saw recently was your Facebook page had a video of the candy being made, and I'm like, the candy reminded me of the way glass is blown.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, it's an artist thing. I sat there and I watched it. I pulled the clip up so we can watch it together. But the way that they're handling the candy, yeah.
It's perfect.
Isn't that cool?
Thank you. I love it.
Yeah. It's just a little, token for coming on, and hopefully each time you hang it up somewhere or on your tree, you can think of the podcast.
Absolutely. And candy canes.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I was looking for when I went in there. I was like, man, do you have any candy canes that
Something that looks like one?
Yeah. Just because I imagine that the process, well, it's totally different, but just seeing the intricate part of the candy being like twisted, and it just reminded me of what the glass looks like when it's hot.
Yeah, and it's hot. It's really hot to work with, and everybody stands and they take off layers and layers of gloves because it's wicked hot.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's awesome.
So just like glass.
So you're the owner of Dolle's Candy.
I am the co-owner. My brother and I took it over from our parents. So we've been at it for about 25 years, but we grew up in it. So there really isn't a definitive moment when work started. We always lived the lifestyle of small family business. So, so it's in our blood, but in 2025, or excuse me, 2000, not 2025, 2000, we started cracking down and getting serious.
Okay.
So,
that's awesome. Yeah. I didn't realize I was today's years old. I realized you had a brother.
Yep. Andrew.
Yeah. I should have invited him on.
That's okay. He's making candy.
All right. Is that what he does mostly?
Yes. So, back when Andrew was learning how to make all of the candy, he was making it under all my dad taught him how to do everything. But because it was at the time using open kettles and really a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of heat, he focused more on that side of the business. I can do things in small amounts, the fun, frilly things, but he was more in tune to, being able to lift everything and whatnot. And I took care of kind of the business side of things. So management, scheduling, all that fun stuff. So
makes sense. It's a giant operation you have.
Yeah. It's not as big as I think people think. Like sometimes I think people think that we are a big corporation, but my office is literally my parents' old bedroom in the apartment above the store. Yes.
Okay.
We're getting ready to change that. But yeah, we have worked with what we have because we have the footprint at the boardwalk, and that's where we make everything. So we have candy that machines that run over stairwells, anything to make it fit.
Okay.
Kind of like we're in the city.
Well, when I say giant, I just look at like the locations, and to me, I guess maybe giant's not the right word, but it just looks like it's a lot. It's a lot of little, moving parts, I guess, too.
There are a lot of moving parts for sure.
I'm intrigued with not only is it like candy and you're producing something that is probably a timeless memory for most people that consume it, but what goes into making it, and the machines that make it. And a fun fact, I guess, is years ago I worked for an engineering company, and I worked on the Columbia boiler you guys had in above. It was an upstairs place, and it just was crazy. It was an upstairs boiler, I guess, to conserve space. Yes. But it's not only is it heavy and is it, whatever, but is that thing still around? Is it still operational?
It still is, yeah, and it has to push that steam down, so it creates some issue, and then some issue with hard water and everything like that. So it's one of those things that, it gets maintained quite often, we'll put it that way.
Seemed like a good idea at the time to put it up there.
Yeah, it was like, where is this thing going to go?
I didn't think about the way the steam has to move, and then it has to... So you guys get a ton of condensate.
Yeah, it goes out and then comes back up, yeah.
Just learn more right now.
If people are walking by... And again, like you would never know it when you walk on Waikamaca Street. If you're going between the Cork Bar and the Clam, there's a parking lot there. So if you look like towards the back during the day, you'll see the steam coming up. It'll look like a car's on fire back there, but it's just steam from the boiler that's upstairs. But that building that where you worked, the bottom of it has all of our vacuum cookers. So that's in the back of the building. But then the front of the front main building was the original restrooms for downtown Ocean City after the 1925 fire. Okay. So they rebuilt it, used it as the restrooms, and then it was a couple other things throughout the years. But we're in an old historic building making all the saltwater taffy there. That's where all the machinery is.
That's awesome.
And all the candy cutters and stuff.
That is super cool. I just love watching how it's made. It's just so cool. Actually, let's just play the video because I want to watch it with you.
Oh, with the candy canes, yeah.
I pulled it up here so we can check it out. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, and we make different flavors every year. We always have peppermint, but my brother likes to get creative.
Is this him making it?
Yeah. So
sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was going to ask you, that table looks to me like it's hot.
Yes. So that's a water jacketed table, so we can run hot or cold water through it depending on the candy.
No kidding.
Yeah, so it's really important for the candy canes to be kept molten. So it's, like I said, it's very, very hot. We'll use heat lamps above because you only have a few moments really before it starts to solidify.
Really?
So as soon as it starts cooling down, it'll start cracking.
Okay. Yeah, well, I noticed later in the video when they're actually making it into the candy canes. So right now he's putting the pigment in it.
Yeah, he's putting the food coloring in, and this is exactly what saltwater taffy looks like as well. And so now that video, this segment, that hook is my grandfather's original candy hook. So he used to pull all the saltwater taffy on that hook by hand.
That's awesome.
So we've kept it. It was when my dad owned the business. It was our key holder.
Okay,
we just put our keys on it. But yeah, so now we moved it back into the facility. This one that's photoed is right above the Cork Bar. So if you're having a beer in the Cork Bar, more than likely there's candy being made above your head.
All right.
But yeah, so
I was going to ask you about that hook because it looks vintage. So that was one of the questions. That's awesome. That thing's old then. Wow, that thing's seen a lot of taffy.
Yep, it has seen a lot of taffy.
So he's just working it there to...
Yep. So he's aerating it. As you see, it's turning white. That's just from air.
Okay.
So, and then...
That's the part I love.
Yeah, that's the cool part. They, they put the stripes there. And then
I noticed right here, you don't notice it, but they slip like something in there. Is that some kind of like binder to hold the end together?
no, he was just wiping it down so that it actually does bind.
Oh, okay.
So it has I don't want to, it's not grease, it's something so that it doesn't stick to the table, but
Okay.
it's, so yeah, he was just wiping that off so that it would.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
yeah.
And at this point right here is where I realized,
Oh, yeah.
that looks like glass.
Yeah, it does.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
And here we go with the.
They're twisting them and they have to work so fast.
That's why there's multiple people.
Yeah, and then we just use a shot glass to bend the hook.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so there's multiple people, super duper hot.
Well, I was going to ask you, that does look like a lot of people to be doing that one thing. I mean, this is handmade stuff.
Yeah, we're totally not making any money on it.
Well, that is right there. So cool to me. Just that little clip. And
Yeah.
I know it's just a small clip of what you guys deal with on a daily basis, but I just thought, man, that's so cool. And then I sat there and I watched it a few times and just dissected it, the process. I didn't realize he was aerating it, but interesting. And then I just noticed how many people are sitting there handling those things and then hand vacuum or hand sealing those packages.
Yes.
That's all production.
It is a production. So we have, in the summertime, we have about 60 employees, and that's between our 4 stores and the manufacturing. So, but in the wintertime, we're down to 25 full-time year-round staff members. But in manufacturing, I want to say 8 people.
That's
I
it?
believe.
That's awesome.
So, and we'll get more, like I said, in the summertime, helping with packaging and stuff. But the lack of space alone just forces us to make what we need when we need it and then put it on the shelf. So we don't have anywhere to store it.
So it's relatively fresh if you're getting it.
Oh,
then.
yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
100%. We just don't have room for it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how it works.
Yeah.
You know, I really like how it's made.
Mm-hmm. I love that show.
And then you had the other one with the candies and foods with Mark Summers.
Yeah.
I forget the show.
Unwrapped.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Love that. That's what I think about when I see that. But it's interesting to see how things are made behind the scenes. You know. So.
Oh yeah, it's cool. They've filmed before.
Oh really?
Yeah, and the last one, which we were so thankful for, big group was oh my gosh, his name is Casey. I'm gonna draw a blank. Man versus Food.
Okay.
That one. And the way that it all worked out, he ended up showcasing how we make peanut butter saltwater taffy.
No kidding.
And showed that. And then, so they recorded that in 19, and it started to air the winter of 20, which was a blessing because then we got mail orders.
Gotcha.
So because people all over the country were seeing this rerun over and over again because nobody was taping.
Yeah.
So it hit, and we were selling peanut butter saltwater taffy out the back door.
Wow.
Probably more than we were out the front door because of COVID and with us being shut down. So, so it was nice.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, how it might affect the boardwalk and things. I mean, I don't think about a whole bunch that doesn't really affect my day-to-day life. So,
Right.
But yeah, that's interesting. Where I was going with the thought with the unwrap thing was I learned that ice cream sandwiches, when they put the graham cracker on top, when it's stored or frozen for a while, they rely on that time to soften that graham cracker. I know.
So it's actually hard when it goes on, and then it just it goes stale. If
pretty
you will.
much. Yep. But they rely on that time for that to soften up for your for you to consume it soft, which. Not that it applies to you guys and your candy, but one of the questions I was going to ask you was how long did shelf life or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, the shelf life is really more environment related.
Okay.
So we have to wrap the candy canes up right away, or they would go sticky just because we're right next to the ocean. So humidity really affects candy, and that's why. We started out with saltwater taffy, caramel corn, and fudge because they were not you don't need refrigeration for them. They will, saltwater taffy will melt if it's left in a car, just like anything else, you know. But yeah, that was why they started out with those candies, was just because of the heat and humidity. Like they would hold up.
Wow. Never even considered that.
But yeah, but back with the shelf life of things, we actually cut ourselves a little bit short. We don't even, like our Best Buys and stuff, we don't even give the proper amount. Like it should be longer, but we like it to be shorter because we want it to taste fresh. You know, you don't want something and be like, well, it says it's okay. And then you get it and you're like, but it's really not. Like things like peanut brittle, like, because you're working with peanuts and butter in there. So you don't want any of that stuff to go funky. But saltwater taffy, one of the biggest myths with it is people think that when it's hard, it's stale. It's not. It just means that they cooked it to a different temperature. So every week when we have our schedule for what saltwater taffy we need to make, we look at the humidity and the temperature outside. And if it's going to be 100 degrees outside, we'll actually cook the candy up a little bit, just a little bit harder, so that when people take it out of our air-conditioned store, walk around a little while, that it just doesn't turn to soup. So it doesn't melt as quick. So like in the wintertime, you'll get, like if you go in the store right now, it's a little bit softer because it's cool outside. So it doesn't need to be, that firm.
That's awesome. You guys put that much consideration into your product.
Absolutely.
I love that. I nerd out over every little thing like that. So those details, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys have to look at the forecast and figure out what it's going to be in advance. That's awesome. Well, we kind of jumped the gun talking about the candy first. I really want to dive into your background and like kind of what led you to there, or to like what, where you guys took over in 2000. So do you don't mind starting, or, take me back a little bit to where maybe like you grew up around it. Did you go to college and do that whole thing? And
Sure. Yeah. So I grew up in the home that my dad was born in Bethany Beach.
Okay.
He had, so we were in Bethany. My grandmother had a hotel there, but before then, he had the Dolles in Rehoboth and then the Dolles in Ocean City. Now the Dolles in Rehoboth was owned with a partner as well, so not the Dolles in Ocean City. So eventually down the line, in 1959, my grandfather sold that location. So we don't have anything to do really with anything in Delaware anymore. But anyway, I digress. I was raised in the house that my dad was born in. So my brother and I went to Worcester Country School at the time, Worcester Prep. So we went to school from kindergarten through 12th grade. Both of us graduated there. Andrew's 4 years younger than I am. So, so when I graduated, he was just going into high school. So I ended up making the decision to go to American University. I just wanted to get off the shore for a little while, kind of explore, 17 years old. It's crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have an 18-year-old and I'm like, at 17, I made that decision to leave home and everything. But, so I went to AU and,
where's that at?
So it's in Washington.
Okay.
So my mom is originally from the Washington area. So it was familiar. My aunt was around the corner. So it was nice to have some family there too. Not really rooted there, but, still familiar enough. So went to American University. I came home every summer. And worked every summer. And then in 2000, when I was ready to graduate, I got a degree in anthropology, which is, nothing to do with candy, nothing to do with business. I'm thankful that my parents let me, pursue that for 4 years. But,
so can you entertain my peon brain? What is anthropology?
So it's the study of cultures, people, pretty much. Okay. So a little bit of everything with that degree, like forensics, culture, language, all that kind of stuff. So that just really, it still fascinates me. But I decided after I had done my internship at the Smithsonian, and one of my professors wanted me to get into teaching. And I was like, yeah, but I can't do any of this over here in flip-flops. I need to go home. I just think that part of the Eastern Shore, coming from, I kind of feel like I always lived on the cusp. Like I was, Bethany Beach is where I slept, but I really lived in Ocean City and Berlin. Like those were where my friends were. That's where I kind of did everything. So I just wanted to be home. I just wanted, like I said, this lifestyle. I wanted to be able to not worry about what I was dressed like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I did get a couple of comments. Like my first semester of school, people wanted to know why I had my pajamas on. And I was like, it's board shorts and a t-shirt from, from Chauncey's.
Okay.
This is what I wear.
It was
like,
foreign to them?
Yeah, totally foreign to them. So, yeah, I was like, no, I really want to go home and be around nature. And I'm not a beach goer, but I love to be able to walk on the beach and look at it every day. I mean, that's a blessing. So
there's something about it, just looking at it and listening to it. I don't do it much either, but it's something that's like you're almost drawn to. Like if you don't go to Assateague or Ocean City or something for a while, when you do, it reminds you you need a little more of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Almost. It seems like.
There's fresh air and now there's tons of eagles around. Like, it's just fascinating,
Yeah. What is up with that?
I don't know, but like we are constantly taking pictures of things, of animals and bugs, and that's like a lot of our shared family stuff. Like, oh, look at this cool moth, it's just
I just saw 2 eagles the other day out of nowhere. I'm like, that's eagles.
yeah,
It's crazy.
They're everywhere. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I like to see them.
It's special.
I didn't even know that American University was a thing. I've never even heard of it. So it must be small.
It's a small school, yeah, in Northwest DC.
So then you graduated with anthropology, and then you ended up coming back to the shore.
Yep,
Okay.
I decided that I wasn't going to be a teacher or a professor. I didn't want that lifestyle. So
Did some of the things that you learned though, maybe like I'm assuming there's electives and certain things of like you said culture and things, but like the way people's minds work and things that help, with your set of tools that you possess now?
Sure. Oh,
I imagine.
absolutely. And one of the big things is that goes kind of unnoticed, but needs a little bit more recognition are all the students that we have that we really depend on in the Ocean City workforce and a lot of other resort towns. So back in the early 90s, my parents started hiring international students. They were primarily from Ireland and England at that time, but it was so nice to have like kids from all over, like with me too. So I became friends with a lot of them, and still communicate. I've traveled back and forth.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
that, and then it's just continued, and I have a lot of respect for these students that come over here and, they don't know where they are or whatever, but they're here to work and have a good time, and they do. And, it's a good relationship, but it's also good, like, to hear their sides and to hear, and then what they bring too,
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Probably their culture and their foods and things that they might teach you while you're here too.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love that stuff. Yeah, I'm super thankful that they come over for the summer just to keep our community moving.
Yeah.
Because it's such an influx of people. Without them, it would just be slow.
Oh, yeah.
know?
And I mean, we still have plenty of American students. Like I said, we have full-time year-rounders, but for the season, we just need temporary staff. But we still have a lot of college students that work. But unfortunately, usually they have to leave early. So they leave much, weeks before the season actually ends. So it's nice that the students usually can stay through September at least, September, October. So it really does help. And we get a lot of repeats too. So students will request to come back year after year until they're graduated or can't get the visa because they're not a student anymore. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
That's awesome. So your parents were running the business after your grandparents?
Yeah. So the way that it worked was my aunt took over the business. So my dad's parents both passed away when he was like 17 and 18 years old.
No kidding.
So
are they the founders? Or is it?
It was my grandfather and my great grandfather.
Okay.
And it's strange because there's a big generation gap. So my grandfather was born in 1893.
Okay.
So he was born in 1893. My dad was born in 1949. So there was a big one, but he had a daughter that was born in the 20s, and she had taken over things. But when my dad graduated from high school, his parents had passed. He did go to school for, I believe a semester. He's going to kill me if he hears.
Okay,
But I think it was a semester, and then he went into the Navy.
Okay.
So he was in the Navy, and his sister and a manager took care of things. And then when he came back from the Navy, he was working right away, and his sister passed away. So my mom was down because, like I said, she was from the DC area, and she was going to Salisbury at the time to pursuing a teaching career. She was working at the carousel as a switchboard operator.
No kidding.
And the supervisor invited her to dinner, which was my dad's aunt, and that's how they met.
No kidding. That's awesome.
But it gets weirder.
Okay.
So they met in the apartment of the building that we're actually settling on Friday.
No way.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So my great uncle built the building that we are expanding into. Wow. So it's crazy. Like,
that's awesome.
yeah, just
I love how some things just come full circle.
full circle. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you just know it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
well, it's no question. We're 100% getting this.
Yeah, well, when we toured, my brother and I were like, this place just feels familiar. Like, it's got the same baseboard heat as our house did in Bethany Beach, and had the same doors with the same windows in it. And we're like, what is up with this? Well,
So you didn't know when you were touring it?
until the next day, we had taken our dad out fishing for his birthday. And we told him, we were like, we think we found the new spot for our facilities. And we described the building, and then he described it even more. And he's like, yeah, I actually spent my last Christmas with my father in that apartment. And that's where Mom and I met. So
That is wild.
weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, very strange, but really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And the building has history. That's amazing. It's probably, it's like that's awesome. It's meant to be.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is. So.
Wow.
So yeah, so Mom and Dad took it over in the 70s. I came along in 78. They were married in 76. Evelyn passed away when, I think it was the day of my baby shower. Wow. Yeah. And
That's
so
the aunt.
yeah, so then Mom and Dad took everything over, and started. I mean, they had always hustled, but really hustling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So they were on the boardwalk just making and selling.
Making and selling, yeah.
That's
My dad
awesome.
would make the candy, and my mom would work the front. And then through childhood, like through the summers, they would work opposite shifts.
That's awesome.
So my dad would be there during the day, and my mom would be there at night.
That's awesome. And then, so they ran it until 2000.
Yep.
Kind of wanted to, you guys just stepped in and boom, there
Yep.
it is.
And it wasn't, it wasn't just a cutoff. It was just, that's when we started moving things over and, trying to get our stuff together. And
I imagine they probably saw you guys putting forth tons of effort.
Yeah.
And you said your brother was in there making it, so he's probably learning all the recipes and knowing how to do it every day.
Right.
So it's a natural thing, I assume. That's awesome. It's got to be inspiring as a parent too to watch your kids being so interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And all the times you got to spend with them together. I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
Where my kids are homeschooled, and sometimes I'll be over here hanging out, or I'll get my daughter just move hooks or something, just something silly, just so we can hang out. That is time that you may not have spent with them.
Oh, for sure.
I love that.
And to have something too, it's cool. Like Haley is 18 and she is interested in the business, but to talk about things like everything. But we were talking about ChatGPT and what you can actually use it for. You don't want it to take you away from it, but it definitely makes life easier. But the other night, just my kids helping me out, like, oh, Mom, you can do this and this and this. And I was like, oh, this is fabulous. And they're not, there's no corporation that's going to say, no, you can't do it. Sometimes it's like, well, let this fly. And sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes,
Yeah. It's nice though that they have a different perspective, and they're born in the, to the era of technology too, where we, anyhow, I'm just saying there's a gap there where you and I watch my kids, and you do too. They're wizards at everything they touch. It's like something they're born with,
Yes.
where I'm just happy to be able to turn a computer on and make it work.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, it's fun. It is fun to see how they translate things, or if we have an issue with a staff member, like bringing up, like, well, what would you do? How would you feel? Because I do respect that they are young and like, okay, well, what do you feel about this? Like, how would you like to be treated in this situation or whatever? So it's nice to have that perspective.
For sure. So when you like I guess I'm thinking about the candy more, back to the candy thing.
Sure.
The recipes that have been in play, have they always evolved, or, do they change over time?
They change in a very, it depends on the machinery that we're using. So like if you're doing something open kettle versus vacuum cooking, they can formulate different adjustments to the recipes so that it comes out correctly, but depending on the moisture and all that kind of stuff. But
so the process
really.
Just a little bit different, but
Yeah.
the recipes have probably remained the same since the 1900s.
Yeah, they're pretty set. Things like with the chocolates though, my dad didn't start doing chocolates until I would say the mid 90s. I think he started getting into that. Actually no, it was before then, because he actually went out to candy school in California when I was in 4th grade, and we went with him. But so in the late 80s, I guess, he was starting to get into the chocolates. So that's something that like we make all the inside. So like a buttercream, we actually make the creams from scratch. We don't make the pretzels, but from scratch. We get those from Utz. But if it's a cream or any kind of ganache inside, we make all that from scratch.
That's awesome.
So those kind of things, like, we'll he's formulated, like, and he wrote everything down. So we've got these wonderful books that have all of his recipes in it. But we follow trends a little bit. So I'm thinking for the chocolates, like sometimes we'll make a different jelly or a different cream or something, depending on what's popular out there. Like we could have gone the Dubai chocolate thing last year was really big, or this summer. We didn't do that, but we could. We could play around with it this winter and figure it out and try it out.
Yeah, I was just curious how. I mean, I imagine that's what you guys are founded on, is those recipes and what people expect as a timeless candy.
Yeah. And you want it to be special. So it's got to be, I'm constantly buying other people's candy, like just trying things, seeing what the consistency is, seeing what the flavors are. Yeah. It's really fun. We're like pulling it apart, and I mean, I don't think I eat very much of it, but more tactical or tactile, like, feeling what it feels like, what it tastes like. So yeah, we're always kind of keeping up with what's out there, but sticking to our roots.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the things that I think about is like research and development. And I don't know if it's actually research and development, but like, do you guys brainstorm and have like interesting conversations, and or you're somewhere and something reminds you of something, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna try this, or like, is there any room for playing around with things?
Yes. Yeah, we do. One of the things with candy canes, we didn't do it this year, so can't come into the store for them this year. But one year we made Old Bay ones.
No way.
So yeah, we just pulled Old Bay into it, and they were really good. They had that salty. It was weird to have like salty sweet and a little celery and and the peppery. So it was a unique thing. They sold, but I mean, again, like, we're not making money off of that stuff because it's so labor intensive, and it's just more for fun and. Show videos and have people come in. And, I mean, we do use the candy canes, anything that's, like, doesn't get formed into a candy cane, any kind of not a miswrap, but like a mistake, we'll crunch it up. And that's actually what goes on our peppermint bark. So
that's awesome.
So we make all that.
That's so cool. It's interesting to see the different things, like when you were talking about the peanut butter brittle, and like there's such a broad spectrum of candy. It's got to be difficult to like see what the need is and then keep that moving. I mean, I guess I'm not in the candy business, so I don't know, but it's just such a big thing. Even like the fudge and things that
Yeah, we literally like look at the shelf.
Really?
We're like, oh, it's getting low. Better make more.
Really? So there's no like that's crazy.
And trends are hard too. Like we're starting to see people like milk chocolate more than they do dark. A few years ago, everybody was buying just dark chocolate. Now it's peanut butter with milk chocolate. So That's like our generation. So it's like, okay, now we are the people that have, the extra income to buy a luxury item like candy, and a special one at that. So it's fun to watch these trends, and like we definitely have retired some products too, because those people are gone.
That makes sense.
So, we just have to, we keep an eye on all that, and it makes sense that our generation will want a peanut butter. And I mean, Reese's was,
Grew
big
up
thing.
on it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I guess when I think about you guys just looking at the shelf, I think it's like such a production to get something moving, to make the fudge or something. I would think it's made in like a giant batch, but that just goes to show you how fresh your stuff really is.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Made like the fudge, the caramels, any of the insides to the chocolates, that's all made above the cork bar. So that second story is where that is, and then behind that is where the chocolates are. There's like another kind of back room on a second floor. And we have several enrobers, and those are the things that you basically put like a pretzel on one end, and then it gets coated in chocolate on, until it gets out the other end.
That's so cool. It's got to be a fun thing to like go to, like to just to see. I mean, I know on a your side is business, and things have to happen for that to exist, but I guess maybe I just fantasize about how cool it'd be. Like I think about it like a assembly line, looking at it, and it's just fun. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah, you have to come check it out.
Yeah, I would love that.
Come on in. We'll give you a hairnet and suit you
I
up.
love that. I nerd out over the littlest things. Even like the rollers, like the boxes are on. Like, I don't know if you have any of those, but just thinking about how the production is, I just love seeing how ergonomically it works. Like, and the time that you guys put into making it work, with limited space,
Right.
And then the town is pretty small, and you got these small side roads that you're dealing with, getting semis in, or box trucks to get your equipment, your ingredients.
Yeah.
And there's so many little complications that go into it.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that you guys deal with all of that to put out what you put out.
Right. Yeah. It is a production.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's funny to see a tanker truck come up Wycomico Street. They back up, and we have a 25,000 pound corn syrup tank in the backyard. That's what we call it.
Really?
So yeah, it's right next to number 9 again. If you're walking on Wycomico Street and you kind of peek in where the there's a gate in a little alleyway, you can see this big thing, and the lines all go directly to the pots, to the kitchens.
Okay.
But yeah, so we get that filled every 10 days or so in the summer. And just to see that truck back up, and it's like, oh my gosh, they got to hook up, and people are riding their bikes, and they have to go over the corn syrup, line. And oh my gosh.
Thank goodness you guys put up with all of it. I look at everything on the outsider perspective, and I'm like, man, thank goodness that even other stuff too. I think about our community in our local area, and I'm like, man, we are some workers. Our area puts out so many different diverse products that it's pretty amazing for the amount of, like, say, land that's on the map. It just blows my mind. I'm just happy you deal with it to put out what you do.
Thank you.
I love the history behind it too, and how long it's been around. It's been around since
1910.
1910. That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. Like, it is. Yeah, it's
third generation.
Fourth, sort of.
You're the fourth?
Because it's my great grandfather, my dad.
Oh yeah, you are the fourth.
Four-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I didn't realize it went further back than your grandparents.
Yeah, so just my great grandparent. Yeah, I don't know if you want me to go into the history with all that or not, but
whatever you feel like going into. I just love learning about it. But what's cool, and I don't know if I said this on here or not, but when Kirk was on, that's when I realized, when he was talking about s'mores, as a consumer, it is a timeless type thing to have that memory of a candy or something.
Yeah.
So when I talked about the s'mores, I'm like, man, that is made right here in Ocean City. I wonder if I could reach out and see if one of them would want to come on.
Sure.
I just love that it is a timeless thing. And then, like, you see people bite into like saltwater taffy or something as an adult, and they remember it as a kid. Or maybe you don't see those moments, but I imagine that's some of the reason why it's so successful is they remember that type of thing.
Right.
And it means so much to them. So.
And that's what I really try to do. in my own way is to make it special. Like we were talking about before we started recording about just being intuitive. And it's like, well, if your gut's telling you that this is a bad idea, it's a bad idea. But, and don't get me wrong, we have definitely made some great mistakes.
We all do. That's how we learn.
I remember when we tried to do that and it was a flop and, and it's like, okay, but no harm, no foul. But I think that, when you come into the store and you're greeted with staff that's happy and honest and fun and will joke around with customers, or we have our regulars that come in and, they know them by name. We get thank you notes, it's just wonderful. So it's a little bit of coming in home. And that's why the stores are set up the way that they are too. They don't all match. They're not all, well, first of all, anything that we don't make. So the only things we don't make in the store are gummies and licorices. But I won't get them from China. I need to see all the records. I need to see that this is a safe food. So our gummy selection is very small, but so we have a certain, if I wouldn't feed it to my children, I wouldn't feed it to my customers kind of thing. So, I'm really big on that, but I want them to feel warm and welcome when they come into our store. I want people to recognize the staff members, even if we do have a lot of students working, I want somebody that's seasoned, that's been there for a long time, that a customer could go to and know by their first name and say, oh, it's so good to see you, or even if the employee doesn't recognize the person, you can see how special it is for them to be in Ocean City and they're in their happy place and they're buying candy, because they're thinking about their dog sitter or their children they're bringing things home to. So I think that's one level of it being special. And then the next is that, my grandmother showed me, introduced me to this product and I love it and I only get it here. You can get our products at Dolly's or on our website, but not, it's not in Walmart. So
yeah, that is kind of cool.
So I want to make it special.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's a, close knit type of thing.
Yes.
Personal. And everyone has their own connection to it.
Right.
I even just sitting around a campfire with a simple s'more. And, you hear the Dolle. He said they were stamping them out, and the 3 different chocolates on there, and I'm like, I mean, your kids are probably gonna remember that forever.
Right. Right.
And it's nice to, as an adult, to enjoy it too. But it's amazing what candy does memory wise.
Yeah.
And even though it seems simple, but it does mean a lot. So
it's special. I think it's part of our culture. It's part of Ocean City. The boardwalk used to have tons of saltwater taffy and caramel popcorn places all over it. Like we see these pictures and it's like, who is that? There's another one, but it was a special thing to come to the beach and get a couple pieces of candy. Fortunately we survived all those years. But yeah.
When I think about I live here, you live here. So, I try to look at it through a different lens, just personally. And I think, when I look at tourism, I don't think about it. It sounds silly, but but when people come here, it's for food. It's for the experience of the area, and I guess when I go travel, it's for a race or something. Like that's where I'm going, and I just go to whatever store and get food and whatnot. But to come here, they go to these restaurants on purpose, which is, outsider looking in, I'm like, it's just a memory thing, or an experience. And I guess some people, when they travel, I do too, I try to hit a restaurant that wouldn't otherwise, Cracker Barrel or something, but mom and pop little store.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the town needs to survive, one.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting that, I don't know, when I think about tourism, that's part of it. So, and you guys are in that category.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I know when I travel, there's certain things that I go to and I'm like, I want it to taste a certain way, and you go and you have it and it's delicious, and it just makes your trip. So I think Ocean City is really special in that there are still a lot of family owned and operated businesses, a lot of small restaurants, and then it's very interconnected in that way, but we're all hardworking, the owner is there. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
corporate. I don't own a suit. I don't own heels. It's just not part of our makeup.
Yeah. Do you ever get in there and do anything to make the candy?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah. I'll go in there. It doesn't happen very often. Like I said, I will do more like the frilly things with packaging. But we have such great staff. Our chocolatier, she learned under my dad, so she apprenticed under him. So she learned everything, and she has got that
So
tuned in. And
is there like a level of this thing? Like, what's a chocolatier?
so chocolate. So we've sent her away to school. Like she's got certifications and all that kind of good stuff. But like, well, first of all, you start with safe food handling, and then the proper tempering of chocolate. And one of the big things now in the industry, which is really strange, is if you look at products, chocolate is becoming more and more expensive. It's just harder and harder to produce. But a lot of products on the shelf now say chocolatey, like, oh, it'll be a chocolatey coating. That's not chocolate.
No kidding.
Like that's just like a yuck.
Really?
Yeah. So you want real chocolate. So real chocolate is temperamental. And then you throw in being on the beach. So hot and humid does not mix well with chocolate that needs to be extremely dry and cool, but she makes it work. And she does wonderful. Oh my gosh. The other day I got a request for some baby shower, like chocolate covered Oreos. And I asked her, and a couple hours later she had them sitting on my desk ready to go. So, but she takes care of that. And then there also is another person that works with her who actually is related. We have a lot of family in our business. I have two sisters, two sons, and then she's the cousin. So I have 5 family members, and the one sister met her husband at Dolly's as an employee. I went to school with him, and then they met. Anyway, it's all very tied in. But she works in the chocolate area. The cousin works in the chocolate area with Nikki, and then and then my brother he oversees her, but he oversees. We have another candy maker that takes care of all the caramels and fudges and stuff. But we're always there, so. Even though I might not make any candy, I might be there. They might call me out of the office, say, hey, can you come lift this kettle? Or, watch this pot for a couple minutes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just curious if you got the the bug to go out there and just, get the creative flow, or it rekindles your fire or something. I was just curious.
Yeah, sure. No, mine is more my creativity, and that's one of the things that I love the most about my job is the packaging. So I work with the FDA on, all the things regarding nutrition panels and ingredients and things like that. But just designing the packaging, that's one of my big jobs. So I get to do all that fun stuff and then do things like, build a whole new factory.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so my creative outlets are a little different than making candy. I can make it, but I also don't eat a lot of it. So
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Probably can only consume so much before it gets either old or just unhealthy.
Right.
Over time, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'd have to pace myself too.
Yeah, peanut brittle, that's one of my favorites. Like
Really?
when we make that, like we hand stretch it so that the peanuts show through, and oh my gosh, it's so good, and it's such an old-fashioned thing, and you only need a little bit, and it's candy, but it's not terrible. We use a lot of just simple ingredients, sugar, not high fructose corn syrup, just regular corn syrup, but real chocolate, real butter.
Yeah.
If you're gonna cheat, might as
go
well
all
have
the
the
way.
good stuff. But no,
What's the difference between corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup?
So it's the viscosity, and it's basically high fructose corn syrup has more sugar in it.
Oh, okay.
It's
More concentrated?
more liquid. Yeah, it's just that's the stuff that's in soda.
Okay.
That everybody has a problem with. But yeah. The other stuff, and you can make anything out of corn syrup. Like corn syrup and sugar are really the base of everything except for chocolates. So brittle, that's how it starts out. Saltwater taffy starts out like that. Candy canes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know nothing about candy, so
Yeah.
when I think of the candy thing, I literally was thinking about the chocolates, and I'm like, my limited I don't even make fudge or anything around the holidays. It's just I'm normally like the griller or whatever. But yeah, I guess there's way more that goes into it than I even can comprehend.
Yeah, it's
When
a
you're
lot.
talking about the
Yeah.
the chocolates and the chocolatier and the signs. Like, so what? Do you care to break it down? Like, do you know what not? You don't have to tell us like the ingredients or anything, but like, what's making like the chocolate like?
So we get the chocolate. It's already made. So we get them in a 10-pound bar, and then we remelt it.
Okay.
So, and that's typical unless you're like a bean to bar little candy store. And I don't see that being a very sustainable business model, especially in Ocean City where we don't have a lot of traffic year round.
So that would be like even breaking down and like extracting something out of like
Yes,
the
the
actual
beans and conching it and all that stuff. So yeah, we get it already made. So there are several chocolate companies out there like Guittard and Calabo that people know. So we get those bars and then we melt the bars down. We have special machines for that, and then we temper it. So basically it's melted and then brought down to a certain temperature and then cooled just a little bit. And you can feel when it's ready to go. So when it's tempered just perfectly, that's when we can either hand dip things or put it on the enrobers if it's like a higher volume thing.
Gotcha.
So
that's awesome. Super rad. When he was talking about it, do you guys have like dyes or something you put it in to like give it shape, or what's that like?
So we have molds. We have chocolate molds. And our biggest one is Easter. We actually hand mold all of our Easter bunnies. We have tractors, trucks,
Really?
dolphin, sharks, like all these different kind of novelty things. So Easter baskets don't necessarily have to have a bunny in them. But yeah, we make those. I'm trying to think of another molded good that we make regularly. I think everything's pretty hand done. So like all of the creams, all of the buttercreams, or raspberry creams, any of that kind of stuff, it's all hand rolled one at a time.
Really?
Yeah, we have a depositor that'll cut them, but we have to hand roll them. So it's all hand rolled and then dipped.
That's awesome. I love how hands-on it is. It just feels like very family and like homey. Like it's like something you'd see your grandmother in her kitchen making almost.
Yeah.
Is what it seems like.
It is, yeah. And it's definitely very tactile. You know, it needs to feel a certain way. It's like people that cook and they're like, oh yeah, the batter feels fine. It's the right thickness. You just know after a while.
Yeah, well, I imagine that people would recognize or tell you, hey, I got taffy and it doesn't seem like the consistency's right or something. Seems very critical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They are very critical.
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah. I imagine you've seen everything from all kinds of everything.
All kinds of things.
Yeah. When it comes into the machinery, I love that.
Sure.
I just saw the roller for the candy canes. But like, is there a certain one? I imagine there's manufacturers out there of the machinery. But like, do you guys work on it yourselves and things? Okay.
So one of the machines that we use for the saltwater taffy, so what you were looking at, those rollers, that's called a batch former. And basically that's used for saltwater taffy as well. They put a big saltwater taffy log on there and it rolls in order to make a log that is, what's this word called? Goes from bigger to smaller.
Okay.
Whatever that word is. And then there's a rope sizer. So basically they force that log that went from this thickness to like this, and then it goes through a series of rollers that go from large to smaller so that it fits in the machine to cut and wrap it.
Okay.
In the cutting and wrapping machines, they are, a lot of our stuff is vintage. So
imagine.
the one that makes the stick taffy, the long pieces, my grandfather bought in 1953 and we still use it. So
awesome.
That's one of them. And they are made in England and in Germany. So typically I'm trying to think. We have one guy right now who's, I believe he's out of North Carolina, that comes and works on the machines every once in a while. Several years ago, we did fly in an engineer from England to give our machines on overhaul 1 year. So yeah, so it's very specialized, but we find them. And then my dad's around, so he can definitely give some insight if things are a little wonky and but there's a lot of variables to that too. So to those machines, the paper and the temperature and all that kind of good stuff. So
I can't even imagine. You probably have like a list of things that like of diagnosing things like if the paper is too thick that day, it's taken too many wraps or whatever. It's like you almost gotta like break it down and self-diagnose what's going on. And it's I don't know. I do a lot of that same thing.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out what the problem is, and 90% of the time I expect this to not go right, and I gotta figure out why. Yeah, I just love that. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
The machinery just fires me up thinking about it, because just the boiler, that's a thing that a lot of people don't even consider being part of the process. And had I not worked in that industry, I would have never known.
Right.
But did that boiler have anything to do with the water jacketed table or no? That's
No.
just hot water or something.
That's just a standard thing in candy factories. I don't know that I've ever been in one that doesn't have a water jacketed table, just because you just need batches at different temperatures. It just depends on what it is.
It's interesting. It's water though, and not just like a heating element, like a griddle or something.
Well, you can put, and we are going to get one. It's a chiller. So since water runs through it constantly, we're going to get a glycol chiller. So it'll be a mix of water and glycol that'll go through the machine that'll keep it cool or heat it up. So
gotcha.
We're going to do that.
Yeah. I imagine that like the kettles and stuff are like really old.
Some of them are. Yeah.
I just love, I picture it. Like I have this mental image of like this vintage machine, and that's part of what makes it so good. It's like knowing that it has the history. Yeah. And that's probably been around for so long. Just like the hook. The hook, how many ropes of taffy that thing's probably been pulled.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't even imagine.
Just to think about it. It's been around forever. It's probably broken off, been welded at some point or whatever. I'm making it up, but it's just the amount of stuff that the stories it could tell. I love that.
We have lots of little things like that around that it's fun to recognize. You use it and then you're like, hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is there like do you guys go to shows or something like that introduces you guys to new equipment or things that the public really wouldn't know that you guys do to go keep furthering your education on candy making?
Yeah. So we belong to a group. It's called the Retail Confectioners International, and they do 2 to 3 shows a year. The one in the summer is always the biggest, but what it is, if people are interested in getting into the candy business, because there's really no candy school, like the chocolatier, she got certified through the RCI. But what they do is I'm trying to think, this past summer was in Cincinnati. So we went to Cincinnati. We had, I think it was 2 or 3 days of classroom. So it might be seminars on labeling. It might be seminars on, what the FDA is up to, what kind of things we're going to be required to have on our packaging, ingredients. If people are having a hard time getting something, where they're sourcing things. One of the things right now that's kind of on the forecast is going to all natural colors. So it's not so much that it's hard to get the natural colors. The problem is to train our customers. It might not be bright purple anymore. We've never really had bright products, but the red might be a little off because it's a natural thing. Not that it's going to affect the flavor or anything, but we're going to have to train our customers. Hey, it's just a little different because we had to move to this, but that's another topic. Any relevant topics are brought up then. And then we actually go to different candy factories and shops and take a look and buy and see how they see their processes. So it's educational. It's very hands-on. There's usually some sort of demonstration that we can try stuff out and
check out new equipment, see what's going on.
Yep.
That's awesome. That I imagine that most things that, like, not most things, but a lot of stuff that, and I don't even know how you get exposed to it other than just distributors have that stuff, or like your corn syrup place might, or I'm making up who would have it, but like you get introduced to the equipment people through your product suppliers.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say. Looking for words.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't even know it exists until somebody says, "Hey, do you have this equipment or whatever?" Whatever. I'm just using it. I know I'm losing my train of thought, but it's interesting to me that the candy making machinery is a whole nother, big broad spectrum of
Yeah.
what you can produce, and how it's produced, and even the efficiency, So not that that's probably a consideration, but that's what I think about.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely looked at things that would run a little quicker. But it's not worth it to us. It's okay to be a little bit slower and make sure that it's right.
Like homemade.
Yeah.
Seems more natural.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say when my mom finds a piece of taffy that's unwrapped.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it
Natural.
happens. It's just natural.
Yeah.
She calls those bobos.
Oh, yeah?
I found a bobo in the mix today. It's like, oh, no.
That's funny. Is there like a quality control type thing where you kind of just look through the batch of taffy or something?
Yeah, so it actually goes through a couple of things. When it's coming out of the machine, it's being watched, and then it goes through a metal detector, and then it gets looked at again on the big table. Like, we spread it all out and just make sure everything's okay. It's not to say that it doesn't happen, but it's just a miswrap. It's not
I
very
imagine it happens all the time. As fast as that stuff happens, or I look at it, things. I imagine it's pretty quick.
Yes.
And accidents are prone to happen.
Yeah.
It's just part of it.
It is. It is.
That's awesome. But that also opens up the door to another position, but also another, reason why it's more handmade. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
I love the equipment. And just knowing that, like, even like the bakeries and stuff, like they have old stuff. I'm intrigued by that old metal that's just been around for forever, and the people that have run it, that they're just like one with it. They don't even want to replace it.
Right. Right. No need to.
Yeah, and I see the need for the mechanic stuff though too. Like it's a specialized type thing where not everyone knows how to work it.
Right.
So
no, and it's a lot of trial and error.
Figuring it out.
Figuring it out. There are certain things that you can definitely YouTube, and we use that, as a good tool. But, most of it is just, you got to get in there and figure it out.
Yeah.
There's, as much as we do have all the original manuals and stuff, and occasionally they'll look through those, but more or less it's that, it's just, hey, what happens if we, tighten this up or whatever.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a cool process to think about. And like logistics and stuff is not something I think about either. But how's that work? Do you guys just mostly keep everything at the store, or is there like a retail? Is there a lot of product moving type thing, or how's that kind of work?
There is a lot of product moving. So we have 4 retail locations. So it's all fed out of the store at the boardwalk. So anything that we need from the other stores, we do a weekly inventory and then just pick it off the shelves from the store, from the main store. So there's that. We have 2 warehouses right now that pretty much hold just dry goods, any packaging, things like that. Those are stored off campus, if you will. And then, and then we do online sales, which is a small part of the business, but it's still something. But we also do wholesale. Okay. So we do a lot of co-pack, a lot of saltwater taffy with other people's label on it.
Okay.
We go up to New Jersey. We have got a really nice little corner of the market up there. So, so we'll use people's boxes and like I said, their own paper, and make their candy for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I never would have guessed.
So that's going up to New Jersey maybe every week or so. But yeah, we have a truck that we take that up with.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you guys able to like, I don't know, you guys able to like kind of recycle the boxes and things that move, or is it always like one? I mean, my brain is going to like, you guys have to deal with the corrugation company, get the boxes, and like, I'm nerding out over it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like, I would think though that it's not even a relative question, but recycling wise, I just think probably, but maybe not. I don't know.
So like the corrugated stuff, yeah, we definitely reuse that if it's just for us. If it's in our in-house, yeah, we are reusing. And that's one nice thing about candy is there's really no waste. If say somebody overcooked a batch of something one day, which I have been known to do, you can recook it.
Really?
Yeah, just add more water.
Wow.
So in some instances, meaning add more water, but you don't want to add water in chocolate. But so it's like when people are like, well, how much garbage do you have? And we're like, well, we don't really have very much. Like There's no waste. There's no grease. There's no, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If something happens, it all goes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the peppermint bark you were talking about too, and like you guys have little methods to reuse it, and it's repurposed.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So broken candy canes. It's not broken in our eyes. It's the topping for the peppermint bark.
And if not, you got to take good ones and break those.
Right. Exactly. Or you eat them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys? I know there's a couple of corrugation companies. I don't know why I'm on that tangent, but like I assume that that's a local thing too, right? Is it?
Some of it is. I don't know where we source that from right off the bat. I know Sean, our production manager, was looking into all that stuff because he'll draw up the contracts and everything for next year, or sign the contracts for next year. Sometimes it just depends on pricing too, and quality and all that stuff. I think he met with somebody the day before yesterday about it. But the corrugation, it needs to be a certain weight, and
Structure and
all the things.
I know. There's so many little things though that the average person doesn't think about it when they open up a box of candy.
Right.
I guess is why I nerd out over it, because I even think about recently. I realized that I do a lot of, like, not a lot, but I'll 3D print stuff, and I use the program, and I realize that people are using this program to, like, fit certain things into boxes to ship them efficiently. And I'm like, you can, just like you're talking about with your packaging, it's like, to get the most amount of boxes in there efficiently, you guys got to, like, probably special order or make sure your packaging fits in a 12 by 12 box, or I'm making it up. But that's something the average person doesn't think about. And that's a whole person's job description. It's in there to make sure that stuff fits. So I don't know. I just shedding light on everything that matters.
I think, right.
I love that.
There's a real person behind it. It's like, okay, I'm not the person that buys the corrugated, but I mean, I could call him right now and ask, and he would know right away and know what weight we use and the exact dimensions and what the print is on it, and all that stuff. So
I just look at the whole big picture, and even just the 4 people standing there hand bending those candy canes. It's like, I don't know. I just think it's awesome that it's such a very handled product to get the refined piece. When you take it out of the wrapper, you don't realize what piece, like, unless you just sat there and looked at it and just admired it, you're like, man, what it took to make this. Right. That's what I think about.
Oh, I do too. I do that all the time. People are like, why are you staring at that? I'm like, I'm really looking at it, like really seeing how this is made and how this is done. And that's what I do. Like I said, I buy candy all the time. Like, I'm looking at the way that it's packaged. I'm looking at the seals on it. I'm looking at how they date things. Yeah. All of that.
You're saying even other people's products.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and it's, I think it's funny how people, they make things up in their head, like, oh, well, they're competition, so they're, they never set foot or whatever. And it's like, no, like, they're in the same thing. Like, if I need help, I know who to call, and vice versa. But, like, we're kind of all in it together, and, you got to share. But somebody's going to have something that tastes, that they make that we don't make. I don't want to say any competitors, but it's like, well, I don't even make that. Why would I be mad that you went to the other place? Because I don't make it. Like, go enjoy it. Like, have fun. Come to me too. But, like,
I say that all the time. There's enough pie for everyone.
Yes. Yes. There is enough pie for everybody.
When you think about it, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think that even just, I don't know, my brain goes on major tangents. But
I've gone
like
all over. It's all good.
It's crazy. There's enough pie, and I just, also the other people out there making it helps you be better. Right. So the only winners are the consumers. Yeah. That's what I think about. It's like, well, if you know a better way, show me, because I'll do it. Please. But yeah, I was going to ask you about that, the natural colors that you touched on. You can elaborate a little more, but I didn't know how much that was going to affect you guys, if, the mandates and whatnot's going on. But I think about, like, who wouldn't want more natural, even if the color isn't correct. It's like, if you got all natural beef, when you eat it and you bite into it, it tastes a little bit different, but it's better for you.
Right,
So
right.
it's like, how do you argue with it?
Right.
If you only grew up with that, you'd never know the difference.
Right.
So I guess that's what I think about when I think about you guys with the colors. Like I only want what's healthy.
Right, right.
So
right. And it's nice, like if people come in and they're really, they want the healthiest thing, we can point them in the direction. We're like, first of all, you are in a candy store.
right.
This is a treat. Yeah. But, we definitely have those ones. Like we have saltwater taffy, that we have candy that doesn't have anything in it, that are, for instance, like our peanut butter saltwater taffy. It's just natural peanut butter in the center of it. But there's no dye or anything in that. So we can direct them to, ones that would fit their restrictions or whatever. But, yeah, like I said, we've never really been like too bright. We don't use a lot, of colors. So hopefully like I said, it won't be hard to train our consumers.
Most of the time I see it, I really haven't bought a whole bunch of it, but I imagine, I've seen it. It's mostly usually white or gray or something, right? I mean, sometimes it's like reddish or yellowish.
Pinkish. Yeah.
Okay.
Orangish. I mean, you can still get just light color. It's all pastel.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's important to us is because that's how we tell what candy it is, what flavor it is, but also like that's what the stripes are for too. So that's the original way to tell what flavor it is. So, you think of a blue or red stripe's going to be peppermint. We have a little guide in the store that'll tell everybody what the stripes mean and everything, but that's how they did it.
Makes sense.
Before a ton of colorings came out. So we just use a few, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So do you think was the color at some point a way to just designate the flavor?
Yeah, that's all that it was.
That's what I don't even think about.
Yeah.
I just learned something.
Yeah. So chocolate and molasses would be the only two, and of course vanilla and stuff. But yeah, chocolate, because that's actually just chocolate that we put in the batches. It's not a flavoring. And molasses, same thing. It's molasses in the candy. It's no flavoring. We don't use a molasses flavor. So
Wow. Well, if that shows you how small my brain really is, we use colors to designate flavors.
Yeah, like Starburst, the wrapper, but instead of the wrapper being the color, it's the actual, the color of the candy, just because it shows through. Because it would have been, back in the day, it would have been just a white piece of wax paper, hand twisted onto the candy. So
yeah. Do you guys pride yourselves on like being kind of like home stylish where you're not in big box stores?
We do. Yeah. Cause it's there's a couple layers to that one. I think one is because our name is on it. People want to know what is Dolle is like, who is Dolle? It's our last name. I know it's a funny last name, but
I love it.
That's it. So, it is what it is. But I think, we've always had a lot of pride in having our name on there. So, yeah, not to say that I wouldn't go into a big box store, but it wouldn't be under our label because I don't want to give that control up. If it's got our name on it, I want to make sure it's rotated. I want to make sure it's, kept at the right temperature, that it's right. I don't want to go, who knows where they store. I don't know. I see those big trailers at Walmart and I'm wondering what's in there. It's like
sitting in the sun.
Right. That would be awful. So, yeah.
I guess I don't. That's another thing you just enlightened me on is like a candy store considers all the factors. So I didn't realize that you guys actually are watching the temperature of the store as well.
Yep.
To make sure and the humidity inside the store. Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing that you guys, I mean, if it makes sense if you guys are paying attention to what the weather forecast is.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
and
it takes us, you can't just have your guys' candy in a big box store because it just probably wouldn't jive.
Yeah. I just wouldn't know. I wouldn't want that risk. I wouldn't want it with our name on it. Like no, come to my store.
Yeah.
Come to the stores.
Yeah.
Buy it online. Yeah.
That's awesome. How many stores do you guys have?
We have 4.
4?
Yeah. One in Berlin and then one in West Ocean City in the original one on the boardwalk and one at 120th Street.
Okay. And have you let the cat out of the bag on here. I guess this will air after you guys settle on it. But what's the plan for that one? Do you care to elaborate or?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay. I imagine it's got to be awesome.
This is so great. Yeah. So,
so this is groundbreaking news.
Groundbreaking news. We're going to be on Sunset Avenue
in
in West Ocean City. So we are we're required to have housing for our students. So it has an apartment upstairs. I'm going to get out of my parents' old bedroom and have a legitimate office.
Nice.
It's got 2 offices in the front. And then we'll have our kitchen kind of right behind there. And then our chocolate and our saltwater taffy manufacturing behind there. So the cool thing is it's like, it's a little bit of an adjustment mentally to be like, oh my gosh, we're not going to be making it in the same spot as we were. But if I look down the street, I can actually see Wacomico Street. So I'm still still in Ocean City, but like I can see it. So that's what and a warehouse. So
That's awesome.
can't wait. Cause like the boiler upstairs, you shouldn't force steam down, but we do. The corn syrup tank is actually outside too. And it limits what we can do in the wintertime because it's not affordable to keep it heated. So in the summertime, it's fine. But this time now in the new place, we'll be able to have the corn syrup tank inside. So we won't be hand dipping all of the corn syrup.
That's awesome.
In the winters. So, yeah.
And it gives you kind of a chance to reset and like even ergonomically set the shop or the kitchen up to where, things might be footprint wise quicker
and safer.
Yeah.
Yeah. More efficient.
Chance for new equipment.
Yes. Because right now, like our saltwater taffy, we make it in the back. And then through number 9, it goes through the whole process of being cooled, pulled, then cut and wrapped. And then they put it on a pallet, and then they take it around the corner and up the elevator, and that to above the cork bar, and then that's where it's packaged, inspected, and packaged, and it's like, and then it has to come back down the elevator. It's
a lot of moving little parts.
Yes, we do a lot of stairs, a lot of up and down.
Wow.
So it'll be nice.
A huge benefit.
Yeah, to have it all on one level, start to finish, and to be able to store things that. Really belong inside, especially in the wintertime, like forklifts and stuff, to actually have a warehouse with the space to do that.
That makes sense.
So I'm a little envious of all this space you have out here because it's like, I could fit so many things.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool place. But when I was setting this thing up, I took like notepaper and I made little cutouts of like scale size of where I would want things to be, and kind of imagined it working in a circle. So if the product comes in over here in this door, how it can fully go in a full circle and then either go to that same door or the side door, to where if you looked at the steps and the process, you did the least amount of work.
Right.
So I didn't even think about any of that stuff efficiency wise until I got it to this level, and I'm like, well, it makes sense. I don't want to be wearing myself out feet wise.
Yeah, going back and forth. And
so that's amazing that you guys have dealt with so many things constraint wise and overcame those challenges to keep doing what you're doing with your forklifts being outside or the tank being outside.
Right.
Like I'm thankful, and I have nothing to stand on. I love the perseverance aspect of it, that you guys weren't just like, oh, well, it's cold out today, I guess we're not running production. It's like, no, I'm gonna go out there and hand dip it.
Right. Yeah.
Twice the amount of work.
Yeah.
Oh man,
back-breaking.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is one negative, is that it's such hard work. Our poor guys are breaking down. So our production manager, excuse me, he turned 40 and fell apart and needs a hip replacement. I don't know. It's like, oh my gosh, my brother, like his back is shot. It's just so much stuff that, they've physically, labor intensive days that, they've made this stuff with. But but it's good though. And it's becoming easier, and I hope it'll be easier for all of us when we're all on one level and more efficient. So, and that's another thing, like going into like the corn syrup tank. When my dad bought that, we weren't open during the winter. So we would close. And I don't really know like what my dad went to work. My mom did too, but we weren't open in the store like we are now. So I think that, it just evolved. So from the early 80s when he bought it, he wasn't expecting to have to use it in the winter time. And now Ocean City, with their longer seasons and, more traffic year round, it's necessary.
Well, it sounds like too, you guys expanded the production to where you're shipping the stuff to Jersey, and that might expand even further now that you can ramp production up and make it more efficient. So that makes total sense.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, I hope it all works out. I mean,
Thanks.
sure, that's a big step.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a huge one. Like we're all like, you know,
it's exciting though
Yeah.
because it's new.
it is. Yeah, so exciting. Like I can't wait for all those little celebratory markers too, and it's like I'm hoping there's a little hiccup with settlement, not on our part, but it's not a worry really, but it might delay us a couple days. But on Tuesday, I have it in my brain, I'm going to have my whole staff over and I'm going to give them a tour, and my husband's he's going to tape out the floor to show where everything is or where everything's going to be going. And as silly as it sounds, I was like, I got winter coats for everybody. Like I burned myself putting all the patches on. And,
man.
I'm like so excited for this party to like celebrate with everybody, with all these people that have seen me going around in circles. Like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, this is big, but I can't wait to celebrate all those steps. Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal.
It is.
I think it's awesome that you're including everyone in the
Oh, yeah.
excitement. Mm-hmm. It's easy to. I mean, it just shows you that they're more like family than they are employees. Because if they were just employees, you wouldn't even care. That's awesome.
Yeah, no.
It's more homey.
Yeah.
Like, I love that feel.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's our family business, so I don't know how to be anything else. And a lot of our staff, they're very long term, so I've grown up with a lot of them. So yeah,
That's awesome.
it is. Yep. I'll give you this book though. So yeah, fortuitous, so you can read it. But yeah,
I love that.
I brought it up to my girlfriend that I really needed to get all of our pictures and notes down in a book. And the next day the publisher called. So I had a good project the winter of 2019 into 20. But it was fun. My dad and I got some cousins together and did some interviews and things like that. But yeah, very
That's
lucky to
awesome.
have all that
Well, thanks.
history. Yeah. Enjoy it.
And you guys can get this at any bookstore.
Yeah, you can get it anywhere.
That's awesome. And you wrote it. That's awesome.
I did. So yeah, it's got pictures from the very beginnings. Actually, I think the very first picture in there is from 1906.
Wow.
It's of my grandfather and great-grandfather.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my great-grandfather and grandfather came down to Ocean City on a scouting trip. They were in the amusement business. And that was taken on the pier. And they were down here on invitation of the Trimper family. Wow. So, they, like I said, they were in the amusement company, in the amusement business. And, the Trimpers invited them down to Ocean City, said, hey, this is a new budding little resort. You interested in setting up your carousel down here? And they did. And there was a man that was making saltwater taffy on the property as well. So they operated they bought him out and they operated the little candy stand, if you will, and then the carousel at the same time. And then in 1925, there was a fire that took out about 3 blocks in Ocean City, and it took the carousel too.
Really?
So, yeah. So, and instead of rebuilding the carousel, they just expanded the candy stand. So,
wow. That's awesome.
so that's how it all came about.
I guess you've seen it in a lot of different phases.
Yeah.
Personally, and just listen to your grandparents talk probably about how it's evolved and stuff. The history of Ocean City just always blows my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I hope to get more people in the community on that can elaborate more, but I've just heard like even like land has changed hands like over card games and stuff. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know who I need to talk to for those stories, but that stuff intrigues me.
You should talk to my dad.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So my dad, he's 76 and definitely has seen a lot. And then with his father being the age that he has a lot of stories from, back before he even remembers. So, it's cool to hear the stories, but it's funny how like things pop up. Like when there was a particular building in town, they were, developing it. I don't know when it was, within the past 20 years. And they ended up having to clear part of the deed because my grandfather still owned it. But it was just like this little tiny thing. But it was rumored that he had purchased like from 33rd Street to some street up north for like $500 and then sold it for like $5,000. I guess back in the day, that was a hell of a, investment, but it was like, oh my gosh, So one little piece of that story, latched on and, showed itself up decades later. So it's stuff like that. That's really cool. But there's so much history in Ocean City.
I know. Do you know how you guys ended up with the location that you have near the boardwalk?
I don't. That's a good one for my dad. Yeah, because it was just the scouting trip is all we really had heard about. I don't know what. I guess it was big enough for them to have the carousel there, and Ocean
Nothing
City
was really there.
Nothing was there, I guess.
But it's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, so the Atlantic Hotel was there. So pretty much all the pictures that we have on a certain angle, they always have the Atlantic Hotel in the background. But yeah, I don't know what, right across from the pier. And that was really typical of like the way that my grandfather bought things, because same kind of property up in Rehoboth. Again, we don't own that or have anything to do with that. But he did the same thing in Bethany too. So that's where my grandmother's hotel was. So it was that corner, like the main corner. So I don't know.
That's awesome.
I was very lucky, I guess.
I'm always intrigued at like just people's the foresight too. Like where maybe it's a time they didn't know. They just like, well, we're just going to do this, like starting a business, doing it, whatever.
Yeah. And
then years later it becomes this, or just the location ended up being divine or something about it. It's like,
yeah,
I love that. Or like just the foresight to see something in the future that you're just gambling to try to make it happen, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Like it'd be interesting to hear your dad's perspective and be like, did you ever think it'd become this, or was it just this fun thing to do? Or that's what I think about. It's like,
yeah.
Even my business started just for fun. Like it was something for fun.
Right.
I'm just a gearhead, and next thing you know, I kind of just one little thing led me here, and my phone's ringing.
Right.
It's like
right.
It's
fortuitous.
I imagine that's probably something along the lines with how a lot of things start.
Yeah,
So.
The evolution of how, because they weren't candy makers. I've had to question. They're like, well, are you Greek, or were your family Greek immigrants? Because they were typically known as the candy makers. I was like, no, but my grandfather did. His partner for Rehoboth was a Greek candy maker from Philadelphia. So,
Really?
So I don't know how he had gotten connected with him or not, but he learned through him how to make stuff, and he wasn't a candy maker by trade. It was like one part of the family carved the carousel horses, and the other part of the family made the mechanics of it. So going from that to candy, just did.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I look at everything down on the boardwalk and stuff, and I'm like, man, it's timeless. This stuff has been around for a long time, whether it's the rides or, heck, either replacing the boards that have been there forever.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the tram stop and its service? Not that it affects you, but just personally.
Personally?
Like not seeing it.
I stopped seeing it because they started going around the pier. I don't know when they stopped that, but they used to go in front of the store. So I never really... Yeah, I never saw it anymore after that. I know people are really bummed about it. It was always something when my kids were little that their grandparents would take them on, once a summer to go ride the boardwalk. It doesn't really affect me. I mean, I would be more bummed if they said you can't ride your bike on the boardwalk, because that is such a treat. That is one thing that my husband and I love to do, even after he was a bike cop for all those years.
Really?
Like, love to get out there in the morning and go have breakfast and ride on the boardwalk. Like, where are we? It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I've never done it. I need to take mine down there.
It's so great. It's so easy. It's just one of those things.
I know.
It's just simple and free and... Yeah.
I don't know. I probably need to get out a little bit more. When I think of like Ocean City and the boardwalk, I just think about like traffic and stuff. And hopefully your new place will hopefully alleviate some of that for you.
Yeah.
Well, not that maybe that matters, but.
Yeah, the traffic, people bring that up a lot. And I go over the bridge multiple times every day. And it really, I just tell myself, I can't be in a rush. And really, like, you get to sit on the bridge for a couple minutes. Like, if the bridge goes up, it's such a nice treat. Like, because you can't control it. Just put your car in park and, like, roll the windows down and watch the guy fishing on the bridge or look at the water, see if you know anybody that's out on a boat or,
That's a
fun.
good way to look at it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll make it eventually.
I try to be like that. I'm getting better at it, but that's like earlier, and I'm honored to be sitting here.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause it's not. I mean, people want to come here.
Right.
You know,
They want to be here.
We're here.
Right.
But it's easy to take it for granted. It really is. Just
Yeah.
because you just get caught up in what you're doing here. You know.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like me not going to the beach.
yeah.
Yeah. That's like, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that the matter of like, oh my gosh, like to have to stop. I want to go. So.
Yeah. What do you do outside of working and thinking about work? You seem like I told you. I hope you think about more things. At work.
I do. In sort of work related, sort of not. And my son just said it last night. He was like, "How many projects can we have?" My husband's very artsy, artistic, and my son actually he's in school to be a mechanical engineer, but he was working for Philips Signs as a co-op this semester. So he's getting to be creative. So he's coming home with all these fantastic signs and, working with these machines and designing everything. So he's got all his stuff everywhere. Then I've got all my stuff. So right now I'm working on a baby blanket for a cousin. So my old lady crocheting.
Oh, wow.
I've got Christmas ornaments I'm making for a promotion for the store. What else am I working on? I have too many. I know it sounds boring. Needlepoint. I love to fish though.
Really?
So we love to fish. So unfortunately my daughter's not a junior angler anymore, but she was always fun to be that and in the competitions and stuff. But yeah, we do love to go fishing.
Really? Like offshore? That's awesome.
Or inshore, wherever. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fishing's another timeless thing. It never gets old.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
You like flounder fishing and things?
Everything. Yeah.
Really?
But yeah.
Do any rockfish? Mm-hmm. Really?
Rockfish. We did go out. Trying to think when it was. We got over 200-pound of mahi. We were just rolling them in. It was great.
Really?
Yeah, we had gone out for tuna, but it was just too late in the season. It's just hard to judge, like especially months out. You're like, okay, we'll do a big one at the end of the season, and then it's like, oh, they're not running anymore. But yeah, we went deep sea fishing, so using the electric lines and stuff the last time. It was fun.
That's
That was the
awesome.
first time I had done that, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't do, I mean, I've inshore fish a lot, but I went out for my first time this past year, the current year in July or something. Different world out there.
Yes.
The things you see and actually seeing this giant tuna, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Even just reeling them in.
It's such a rush. It is a workout and it's a rush. Yeah, you'll definitely hurt yourself one way or the other, but it's so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we love to do that as a family. I do that with my girlfriend too, and get in the competitions, like I said.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fun.
You guys actually, like the Poor Girls opening things? No way.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
we didn't do it this year. Just I don't remember why, but we still went out. But yeah, the stuff you see out there, and again, it's right here. Like it's in our neighborhood. Like this is our part of the world, and
people come here to go fishing. You know.
yeah.
That's awesome.
It's so cool to see like Ocean City from that side too. Like go through the inlet. Like we just pause. You just stop. You just gotta look at it. Like
in the dang it, what am I trying? I keep wanting to say carousel, but it's the
Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel. Why am I drawing a blank? From a distance, the lights. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Or even in the morning. That's awesome. Yeah. So, what kind of ornaments do you make?
Oh, these are just like seashell ones that are, like I said, for a promotion. But I actually have a ton of oyster shell ornaments in my car that are going in a corporate gift.
Oh, wow.
One of my girlfriend made them, for her clients. So I got to put candy with them. So I'll wrap them up real pretty for her so that they so that her clients get a cool gift.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. The sign thing, it's very interesting too because it's so diverse. And I was thinking about that too with the history of the town. There's a whole nother topic there too. There's so many different avenues there. That's a pretty good gig
Of signage?
Yeah, I'm saying as far as your son being there.
Yeah.
That's a good industry.
Yeah.
You always need it.
Yeah, you do.
So.
Like constantly. And yeah, and they're getting new machinery in, and he's figuring out how to work it. So it's great. Like he definitely has enjoyed it. And it's one of those things that you wouldn't think like, oh, he's, mechanical engineer student. He's going to be working in a lab or something like that. And he comes home and his hands are all cut up and he's bruised and, but he feels good. It's like, that's a good day of work.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. That's another broad spectrum where a mechanical engineer could be anything.
Right.
You might be on SolidWorks designing something or whatever. That's awesome. Well, I wish him the best of luck.
Thanks. Yeah, it's
sounds like both of your kids are
fun.
coming up, and it sounds cool. Do you think that they have any interest in at some point circling around to the candy, or do you have other family members that are gonna probably keep it going, or
yeah,
you see yourself doing it for a long time?
I see myself doing it for a long time. I don't want to go anywhere. Like, some people have these big dreams of, oh, I wish I lived somewhere. I don't have that. I'm where I'm meant to be. And I don't have an end date. I would love to work with my daughter eventually down the road, but she's interested. She is going to go to business school. And hopefully she'll be able to teach us. She can go away and enjoy that football and those parties and all the things that West Virginia has to offer her. Great. Have a good time. I will live vicariously through you. Like, please send me pictures. But, I think she'll be just fine. And then my nephew, so he's just a year younger than she is. So he's a junior in high school. He's got some interest as well. So he's starting to look at schools. But my brother has started training him on how to make the candy. So,
that's so
and
awesome.
Haley's very hands-on too. Like, our kitchen's always a mess. Oh my gosh, we went through that whole sourdough thing for the longest time. And I swear to God, my pipes must look like just congested, cholesterol ridden, with all that gluten in them, whatever. But yeah, so she's got the feel for, she can make candy. If she can do that and bake and all that kind of stuff, she will be fine making candy. And yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, you were talking about earlier with not being able to make any mistakes with making candy. Like, has it taught you anything at like life lessons, or like just not like as far as perseverance and things? Like, over time, is there not like one thing that stands out, but like, I'm a very learner, like a visual learner, or like an experience will teach me something, just like, whatever. Is it keep evolving, like where you're always learning, it seems like, or?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I guess long drawn out way to ask that question, but
yeah,
I imagine that like the process, I guess we talked about like diagnosing the things and figuring things out. But,
well, I think I'm glad that I didn't go to business school in the 90s. Because I don't know, but it's such a different world now. Like we were talking about before, like AI alone, like just learning how to make that work for you and what it's good for. It's better, to me, it's better to do that hands-on, like figure it out. I'm going to learn much better that way too. But I didn't have a cell phone in college. Like, so it's like a million years ago. So I don't even think that, I think my family has had enough foresight. Like, my dad bought dollies.com,
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness he bought that when he did, when the internet was just starting to bubble up a little bit. When we had a computer room in your house,
yeah.
With the dot matrix printer and, had to get off the phone so that it could dial up. But, like I look back and I'm like, wow, I handed in papers in college,
Yeah. Now it's all electronic.
Everything's electronic. Yeah. Like, you went to the print lab to print everything out. Like, you didn't have a printer in your dorm room. So
makes you wonder what's next.
Yeah. Right. So it's, keeping on top of that in a real life situation, like how to apply those new things to your business now. It's evolved so much over the past 25 years. It's really, we've stuck to the same candy, but the way everything else runs, who knew?
Yeah, right. Yeah. What all other than the taffy that you guys seem like you're specialized in a lot of? Just run me through some of the things that you guys do make. Like, do you guys make fudge? Is it all handmade?
Yep.
Okay.
All handmade from scratch.
All right. I guess you guys carry more things like other people's candy too in your store too. No.
The only candy that's other people's is the gummies. Or the gummies.
Okay. That's right. Okay.
But yeah.
I was thinking like Smarties or something like that, but
Yeah, we have a few novelty things like that.
things.
Yeah, nostalgic. Right now, I have. This is how family it is. My mom was going to go to a function where it was like a 1920s night, so she was going to be a cigarette girl. So she bought candy cigarettes and candy or bubblegum cigars
nice.
to give out.
Yeah.
Well, she ended up not going. So she was like, what am I going to do with these candy cigarettes? Because for the longest time, that was a big no-no in our store. Like, Mom did not want to promote cigarettes, in the store.
Really?
And I was like, Mom, they're a nostalgic candy. We were going to put them in the store. So they're in the store,
Okay.
it's okay.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like Pop Rocks and things like that. We carry a little bit of, but not really. It's more the saltwater taffy. Fudge is big. Caramels. So we make a caramel and a sea salt caramel. We tried Old Bay caramel. It went okay. We were like, let's put Old Bay and everything.
Yeah, try it.
All the chocolates. I'm going through the store in my head. Brittles. We do sugar-free taffy. Mints. Mints are a good one. That's like, we make it the same way we make taffy, but it actually has an enzyme in it and it breaks down. So it's like creamy. Doesn't have that chew like saltwater taffy does.
Okay.
So it's really just pure sugar. There's no corn syrup in it. So,
But it leaves your mouth
minty fresh.
Yeah, say minty.
Yes.
They're addicting.
They are addicting. Those ones are addicting. Yeah. I'm trying to think. And then caramel popcorn, of course. So caramel popcorn. And then we have a couple different kind of popcorns that we've introduced over the couple of years to our customers, like cheese corn.
Okay.
That's a really popular one. Kettle corn.
I was gonna say, you guys mess with kettle corn at all?
Yeah.
I love seeing how it's made.
Yeah. Oh, and caramel apples.
Okay.
That's a big one at the boardwalk. So yeah, so we make the caramel from scratch and then hand dip each one.
Wow, that's awesome. Going into Christmas and things, you guys gearing up for anything or like a production that is big this time of year?
So the candy canes are big, but we make everything on a very small, like especially during the season for seasonal stuff. We'll make molded chocolates like little Santas and things like that. We have an advent calendar. So, and it's just our product in it. So it's almost a pound of candy in this box that's like a picture of our storefront. So it's kind of a neat souvenir thing.
Yeah. Is that the one you open each day?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's like the countdown to Christmas.
Yeah.
What else? Lots of boxed chocolates. My mom scouts thrift stores and buys candy jars because candy jars are not like a thing you can find at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like funny glass ones and stuff, and we fill those, and those are a good gift.
That's awesome. So you guys are actively trying to put together like a candy gift for somebody to pop in there and get one.
Yep, you
That's
can't get it
awesome.
anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, that one's gone. It's gone. Like
One of a kind.
one
I
of a
love that.
kind.
It's
Yep.
custom. I love that.
Yep, lots of custom stuff.
Heck yeah. Well, yeah, I was just thinking about Christmas and, gotta, not that I'm fired up about it, but you gotta kind of
Gotta be ready.
pre-plan and things. But yeah, I'm just gearing up for it myself and getting my head wrapped around it. It's crazy. It's already here.
Yeah, it is.
Seems like, man, the year's just blown by. So
Yesterday, it definitely felt like it was going to be Christmas soon. It was
yeah,
so cold and windy.
I know. It's part of it. And that's another thing you guys deal with down there. It's even colder down there.
A little bit, yeah. We're really lucky to have the pier across from us because that protects us from a lot of the wind from the ocean, the sand and everything. We still get a little bit, but it's terrible. We have a little bit of a darker sense of humor. And the one windstorm that we had a couple weeks ago, oh my gosh, we were watching the cameras because there's a camera that we have on the store that faces the shark. Well, it was like, because the buildings are like this, people would walk and they would get to that shark and that wind shear came off the ocean and it was like a wall and people would hit it and they'd turn right back around. Like it was the funniest thing to watch because you would actively see their hair go sideways, their bags flip up in their hands and back the other way. So,
I don't blame them.
no.
It's gotta be brutal.
But they don't realize that that pier just, it just keeps it so, keeps us protected. And yeah.
Yeah. The water, I guess it's probably still warm, but like I guess in the middle of winter, it's probably even, where the water is so much colder too, and the wind's coming off the water sometimes. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
You guys weather the elements.
Somebody said it was like operating a boat, like it was like operating a ship, because it's like, okay, the seagulls have invaded, or there will be oyster shells or clam shells, because the seagulls will drop the oyster shells on the roof or on the balcony to crack them open. And so there's just, bits of seashell and organisms, on the roof. You're like, what was that? You sit and do your work, and oh my gosh, somebody's throwing rocks upstairs. There's just seagulls, or crabs. We get crabs a lot too.
Really?
Like, oh, that sounded terrible. Nix that one. Yeah, because seagulls will drop them. They'll be running around in the backyard, and you're like, we do live at the beach, and they belong here. We don't.
That's crazy. They'll actually carry them and drop them
to crack them open or kill them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I don't even think about.
Yeah, the elements, right? There's so many. Yeah, and yeah.
You're only getting it here. I see why everyone comes here.
Yeah, right?
Who wouldn't want to come here?
Who wouldn't want to have a oyster get, knock them in the head? No.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
What's the deal with saltwater taffy? Like, is there any stigma, or not stigma, but like, is it part of the process?
No, there's no salt in it. So it is a legend. So saltwater taffy was developed in Atlantic City.
Okay.
And the legend is that there was a girl or a man that was selling saltwater taffy in a little stand, and he left it out overnight, and it got coated in salt air, and his customers the next day said that he would, that it was saltwater taffy. So that's where that's the origination. But yeah, there's no salt water in it. There's no salt in it.
Really?
But it is rooted in the coast, especially in New Jersey. That's, like I said, that's where it was developed.
Gotcha. So it's like salt water, because we're like saltwater cowboys here on the shore. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and then the boxes. So the boxes were made the size that they were because they were originally oyster boxes. So it's a pound of oysters would fit in that box. So that's why the box is the way it is.
Really?
So, yeah. So
Wow.
take that down, 100 years later, and it's the same shape. It's just not for oysters anymore.
That's awesome. Well, I think I just learned even more.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always think of it, and I'm like, it's got to be some kind of like salt process, or that just shows you how little my brain is.
Oh no, it's not little. I think it's great. Like, there's so many things. Well, like I said, I walked in here, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much to learn in here.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting more and more involved in like the community, and I'm looking at things because I'm always interested in it, but now I'm like micro analyzing everything. Like, even like talking like there's another guest at some point I hope to have on just talking about like just growing grass and fertilizing and things, and I'm like, man, there's a whole
Are you talking to the Holloways?
No, this was this lady from the extension office.
Okay.
The Worcester County extension office. Well, it was at the fair.
Okay.
And ended up just having a little conversation with her, and I was like, introduced her myself and told her I had a podcast. So I'd love to have her on. But yeah, just everything. It's like people put so much effort into whatever they're interested in, and it's like, they do it for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's fun. Could be profitable or not or whatever. But like, just little things, and everyone's got a story too. That's what is interesting, and I hope to open some of those doors.
Yeah.
And, meet more people that are like that.
I think that there's a lot of people, if you're curious about certain things, and you look at it like that, I think that, yeah, those people are going to pop up.
Yeah. Just the craftsmanship that goes into it is what I appreciate. Like, you guys having to weather the weather, the forecast, all the stuff, the boxes, the truck, the tanker, like so many moving parts to make a product that makes people smile and they appreciate it. And I think that, that's just, it's awesome. I love that. I love the craftsmanship that goes into everything. The book, You
Yeah.
know, somebody binded this thing,
Right.
and took the pictures and scanned them into the computer.
That was me.
Yeah, well, you did a good job. It's a lot of
It's a lot of work.
when you think about what it takes to just produce stuff. It's like, and then on a level that can be sustainable, to
Right.
where people can have more than one. You
Right.
know, I don't know.
Got to have that passion. You know, and if you don't, then if it's not fun, then you don't love it, then it's gonna show. Mm-hmm. You know,
Yeah,
and it's
you got to do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I guess is an
Yeah.
easy way to put it. I agree. I always say my fun meter. Like sometimes though I'm guilty of cutting out of here early to go hunting or something. But I work hard when it's time to work. But I always say like my fun meter has to outweigh my work meter,
Right.
because the ratio it's got to err on the side of fun.
right. Yeah, and even if it's just learning something, that's fun. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna walk away here. You know, I had no idea. You know, this is out here, and you know, and we've got the connections with different people because it is, you know, a small community. But yeah, you're always learning.
Yeah, I love how tight knit everything is too, and like it's such a small world when you break it down. You know, I don't know. I just love that, and that's why I guess the area supports what it supports, because
Right.
there's people like you and me, and everyone just kind of works together, and we're able to work together.
Right. Oh,
get
yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
So,
The teams of people are amazing. The resources, I think, you know, you ask one person about something and then it just flowers into something and you're like, how did it get here? And then you're like, we did it, you know,
Yeah.
It took a million things, but you did it at the end of the day. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Where can everyone find you guys?
So we are, me personally, no. So I'm usually in my office above the store. But I do run between the stores quite often. I do have a home office that I work out of, just because sometimes that little bedroom is not big enough for me to spread out and, you know, do my work. But yeah, we are at Wycomico Street in the boardwalk across from the pier, where we've been since 1910, and my 3 stores, and then now our new factory on Sunset Avenue. So,
And you said dollies.com?
yep, at dollys.com as well.
And you guys take orders and ship them offline?
We ship them. Yeah, we do it all out of West Ocean City. So,
Okay.
one of the sisters of the family that I was telling you about, she takes care of all the online orders. So it's all hand packaged, hand labeled. Everything is, you know, packaged perfectly. She's super talented. She's one of the last people I know how to make beautiful bows for packages, you know, not the ones that you just pull on a string. They're actually like, she sits in front of the TV at night and makes these gorgeous bows for our baskets and stuff. So yeah, we like to have those hand touches on things.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's what set you guys apart.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It is, and we love it.
Yeah, and you guys are on Facebook too. I see that's becoming more and more, active. So that's exciting. And you guys are keeping up and posting cool videos for people to see.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Very excited to show people more of the behind the scenes, because, yeah, it's fun.
it's amazing. I love the videos. Yeah, I hope to take you up on your offer at some point.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
We'll just go through and hang out for a little bit and check out the
Come on
process.
over. Yeah. Like I said, we'll suit you up.
Yeah.
We are an FDA regulated facility just because we go over state lines, but
Totally fine.
yeah. So we don't typically do tours. People always ask for that, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I can take like one person around, but I can't take groups around, and again, because we're really compact too.
That makes sense.
So
Well, maybe we'll pick a day that's not as busy. So,
come on over anytime.
Well, I appreciate the book
Yeah,
very much.
absolutely.
I can't wait to read it. Maybe I'll share it with my kids and we can read together. They were excited as heck to have you on.
Oh,
That I
cool.
was having you on. They could see how excited I was.
Yeah.
I've Candy, it's awesome when I think about it. So
Yeah, definitely bring them in too. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because if they're home, then you don't have to worry about a schedule, because we do make candy usually early in the morning, but get a little hands on.
They would love that.
Yeah.
They would
I'll
absolutely
smear some
love
chocolate on their clothes. I'm like the bad aunt, you know, give them too much sugar, and then I'll send them home.
They're gonna love that. That's awesome. Yeah, well, I'm glad that we were able to connect and hang out. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you want to get out?
I don't think so. I mean, well, maybe just the appreciation for this area. Going through, just for instance, this process of purchasing a new thing and just, my brother said to me, he's like, oh my gosh, we are so lucky to have this team. Like, and everybody that has helped us along the way in getting all this straight, we all have some sort of connection one way or the other. Maybe not, one-on-one, but our families go back years. Or, I sat on a board with the parents of these people that are taking care of me now. And it's like, what an amazing feeling to be supported by professionals as well as, just our customers, that people continue to come back and believe in our business and say, yep, we're gonna let you, borrow all this money and we're gonna support you. And I mean, that's an amazing feeling. Like,
Community's got your back.
Yeah.
Well, you've been around forever.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have a proven track record.
Yeah. It's very humbling.
And everyone I asked, not everyone, but the few people I asked about you, just to try to make a connection to try to get you on, everyone had great things to say. They're the greatest people. So,
Thanks.
I mean, it just goes to show you that you're, part of the community yourselves. You're, you're out there and.
Yep. Absolutely. It's so important. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love how tight knit the community is.
Yeah.
And if everyone could just help everyone, it'd be a better place.
Oh my gosh.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we're experiencing it here on our little micro level. Imagine if it could get out and whatever. But
for sure.
We'll just hoard it here and keep it here. And, they can have whatever they want over there.
We're going to keep it right here.
So I love our area. I love everyone here. And I've never, everyone seems to be so supportive. And, just I'm super thankful just to find this area. Like I said, I was like, I'm going to come here. I've been here a long time, but I just love the area and what everyone stands for. And we all work hard and, I know, but I just love the area. So I'm super thankful to
Me too.
you to come on and give me this book and hang
Absolutely.
out, learn more about you personally and your business.
Ooh, sorry.
And I can't wait to, maybe we'll have your dad on and maybe your brother too. And
He'd love
and
that.
get more history out and, why things are the way they are and things. So
Definitely have a good resource there.
I love that.
For sure.
Well,
Yeah, he'd love it.
I appreciate your time so much. It's great having you in.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
We'll close it out and we'll get you out of here.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so
Great.
much.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you for having me.
Heck yeah. Anytime.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Bye.